Parents, don't settle your child's personal injury case without watching this video first. Now, contrary to popular belief, a personal injury claim brought by a minor, someone under 18 years old, is quite a bit different than a personal injury claim that we all see on those big lawyer advertisements. So, what is the first thing that's different? Well, the first thing that's different is the damages. Now, if you're an adult, you're injured, it's somebody else's fault. What are your damages? Well, it's going to be your past medical bills, your future lost wages, pain and suffering, things like that. But if there's a child involved, well, it's going to be a little bit different because, yes, the child's going to have medical bills, but the child might also have future medical bills depending on the injuries. And they could go really far into the future if it's a severe injury. Child's not going to have lost wages probably because, well, child labor laws. And the other thing that's going to be important for a child too is you're going to look at, well, how did this injury impact what do children do? Their school. So if you're looking at grades being impacted, sports being impacted, it's going to be a little bit different than what you would see in an adult situation. So first thing to look at is actually, what are the damages in the child's claim? And then if you can sort out the damages, you're probably going to be talking with a big company or an insurance company on what that value is going to be. And hypothetically, that value may be reached in determined in a settlement as opposed to going to trial. So now the settlement is also different than what you're going to see in a normal personal injury case. You hear those slogans about you're in a wreck and you get a check. It's not that simple for a minor. Here in the state of Nevada, where I practice law, if you've got a personal injury claim and the injured person is a minor, then you have something that's called a minor's compromise. So what is that other than a silly word? It goes by other names in other jurisdictions. This just happens to be what it's called here. Well, in Nevada, you have to go to the court and say, hey, judge, look, here are the facts of the accident. Here's my child's injuries. Here's the treatment my child's going to need. Here is the amount of money that was worked out for a settlement. And you put all of the facts of your case, even more than this, in front of the judge, and the judge is going to say, okay, this is good, turn it into an order. The judge is going to say, no, this is not a good settlement and reject it. Or oftentimes it might be something in between where the judge is going to say, hey, I need more information here. We need to change this here. But at the end of the day, what matters is your settlement is not going to be complete just because you, the adult, agree to it. The court has to bless it. So what about the kid? Well, a settlement is a contract, and people under 18 years old are considered incompetent to sign a contract, which means they cannot sign it. So the adult, the parent, is going to agree to it, probably with the insurance company, but then all of the facts have to go in front of the court in order for the court to say, okay, this is a good settlement, and create a court order, which is going to, well, solidify the settlement. Because you can't have a settlement with a minor, at least here in the state of Nevada, without having a court order to back it up. And the reason this is important, not just for the child, but also for the insurance company, is because we have a 2-year statute of limitations, which says, hey, you can bring a personal injury claim in 2 years. However, that doesn't kick on for a minor until the minor turns 18. So the insurance company wants this claim done today. They don't want to sit on a file for many, many years waiting for somebody to turn 18 and then have the 2-year statute of limitations start running. So you figure out the damages, you go to court, the court orders it, then what happens? Well, if it's a relatively small amount, here in Nevada, a relatively small amount is under $2,500, that money will probably get paid to the parents, and the parents will use that to treat the child, to pay for the child's care. But if the number is $2,500 or more, what's probably going to happen is that money is not going to the parents. That money is going into a blocked account for the child. And the money is going to sit in that blocked account until the child turns 18, becomes an adult. And then the child's going to have access to that money. Now, why does the court do this? I don't know. My guess is probably somewhere along the line, somebody's parents decided to use the money for something other than the care of the child, and then the child turned 18 and there was nothing there. So the court will agree to the settlement, the court will order the settlement to be put into a blocked account, and the court's going to make sure the money is there. So if you are settling a case for a minor, don't think that that money is automatically going to go to the parents to spend as they see fit. It's going to go into a blocked account. Now, if you are here in Nevada and you want to do this yourself, the statute, it's Nevada Revised Statutes NRS 41.200, and it gives you a list of every single thing you need to submit to the court in order to get your minor's compromise done. If you happen to be in the state of Nevada where I practice law and you've got questions about your child's personal injury claim, feel free to book a call with me and we'll talk about it. It's a free call, no pressure, no obligation, just answers.